Hey everyone, a very warm welcome. So, you have been dreaming about that M.Arch from the UK, right? London calling, the vibe, the cool lifestyle, it's a show of pics. Yeah, I get you all. So, but let's get real for a second. Is it actually worth the hype? And more importantly, is it worth all the pounds you're going to invest in it? We're going to solve and answer all these questions today. But for anyone who is new to Insyd, let me quickly introduce us. I am Reeti, and we are on a mission to build the next gen social web for architects, exclusively for architects. No, you won't be finding any cat videos or your typical uncle sending you political rants over there. It's just a solid community specifically for architects and elite professionals. And speaking of community, so you can join our architect circle on WhatsApp. It's where we post jobs, internships, events exclusively for architect students, professionals. And I'll be dropping the link in the chat in a bit. So keep your eyes in the chat or keep your eyes on your chat. So now, why we are organizing this event? Because we dream of a day when world architecture is shaped by the Indian architects. And when it comes to a UK Masters, there are two giant questions which all of us have. Firstly, the money question. Can I afford it? And will I ever make the money back? And the second question, the hows on earth question. How do I even get accepted? So we figured out trying out that answering both the questions in one go is gonna explode your brain. So do mine, it's gonna be. So we are gonna create a two-part series. So today is all about part one, the money and the payoffs, where we'll be exploring the financial side. And you definitely want to join our next upcoming session, which is on August 20, because it's the part two, where we'll be answering the how part. So where we will be answering your questions related to portfolios, interviews, admissions, and colleges. So that is going to be led by our amazing speaker, Bhakti, who is a sustainability consultant and architect in UK. Now, without further ado, let me introduce you the panelists for today's session. We are honored to have two brilliant professionals joining us today. But to tackle the money questions, we need some real heroes. Sheroes. So you have been through it all. Please put your virtual hands together for our incredible panel. First up, we have Bhakti Panchal. She survived the M.Arch at the University of East London and now working as Architecture Assistant Part 2 at Planning Architecture Limited, London. I know, guys, that the right person you are looking for. Say hi to Bhakti. Hi, Bhakti. Hi, Bhakti, you there?
Hi, everyone. First of all, thank you for joining. And yeah, I hope you will get answer for your all questions from this session. So yeah.
All right. Moving on. And next we have brilliant Manika Garg. So Manika decided to skip the UK's master and she jumped straight to the career there after B.Arch from India. She is now a sustainability consultant at Love Design Studio in London. So what? Didn't B.Arch colleges didn't tell you about that you can choose this path as well, where you can save dollars in masters and go directly and have a job in UK. So then you are the lucky one who find us. So if you know, you know. So Manika will be joining us in a sometimes. So you will be able to interact with her after a while or so. So now we will be having two completely different success stories. So this is going to be a little juicy. So now, and who's going to steer the ship and who's going to take you through all of them? So none other than we have our very own co-founder, Soumya Bansal. She's an architect and her job today is to be your own voice, asking you all the questions you have already sent us in that registration form. Hi, Soumya.
Hi, Reeti. Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining in.
All right. Just a quick head up. Please drop your questions in the chat as we go, and Soumya will take them as during the Q&A at the end. And a tiny disclaimer, everything discussed today is based on the personal experiences. Please get any financial or visa info verified through the official sources. We are here for the real talk, not for the legal advices. So, all right, that's enough from me. Let's get to the good part. Soumya, the stage is all yours.
Thank you. Thank you once again, Reeti. Thank you for the very warm welcome. And everyone who is here, UK, in the session UK M.Arch, what the hype and the pounds. I hope you find your answers. We will try our best to find all the answers we can. With our fantastic speakers, Bhakti right now and Manika will soon be joining us. We'll be covering everything from personal journeys, work culture to financial investments of an M.Arch and the realities of navigating UK visas and the job market. Like Riti said, we will take the Q&A towards the end of the session, so keep them coming in the Q&A box. Apart from that, we have just few quick notes. This is part 1, like she said. Part 2 is on August 20th, and we'll focus on the how-tos of the application, choosing colleges, portfolios, and LORs. So the team will keep dropping the links on the chat box, so just keep an eye there. We also have a giveaway handout on Bhakti's journey, which she was kind enough to share with us. So keep an eye for that resource also in your chat box. All right, let's dive in. Hi, Bhakti. A very warm welcome once again to the session. How are you doing?
Thank you very much for inviting me for the session, and I'm very well, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing great as well. What's the time at your place?
No, actually, I have been, as I said earlier, I have been traveling, so I'm in India right now.
Oh, wow. So
Yeah.
the same time zone. That's great.
Yeah,
That's great.
so it's
Last time we did this US session, and speakers were speaking from midnight from there. So it was 12 a.m. at someone's place.
Yeah, so I have been traveling, so it all worked out properly. So there was no issue in timing.
Oh, great, great. Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Okay, so Bhakti, can you walk us all through your journey to the UK, and can you tell us about your current role, where you're working, and how's your life in UK basically?
So first I start firstly, this is Bhakti Panchal, and I have done my master's in architecture at University of East London. And I always, before going to UK and deciding where to go and how to start my further journey after bachelor's, I did my 1-year experience in India, but then I have realized that
Where did you work?
I worked at Studio Design Sharat in Vadodara, Gujarat.
Okay.
So उसके बाद मैंने सोचा कि I always wanted to have a global exposure in apart from the Indian academic lens. So that's why I chose to go to UK. Initially, my plan was to go to Australia, but there was no recognized there is a recognized degrees, but what I wanted to do is to get a degree from RIBA and ARB accredited. So if I shift somewhere outside of UK or anywhere in the anywhere out of the UK, I get job easily. So that's what my plan was. So that's why I chose UK. And my plan was very clear. If the university is not recognized, I won't go to that university. That was very straightforward in my thinking. Because doing 1-year course and without recognition, there is no point of doing it, and people are not getting job here, honestly. So I would not go for that.
Bhakti, sorry to interrupt with you, but what is recognition? I mean,
So यहाँ पे UK में there are two bodies, ARB and RIBA. For example, if you are studying, even in India, there is if you are studying in university, you will get COS register certificate, right?
Right.
If it's not university, you won't get it, as far as I know.
Okay, so you're saying like in India, we have COA accredited universities?
Yeah. So then only you can consider yourself as an architect.
Okay.
But in UK, there is a body called ARB, Architect Registration Board.
Yeah.
Once you are registered with them and you passed all the exams like part 1, part 2, and part 3, then only they will consider you as an architect. Unless and until you cannot consider yourself call yourself as an architect.
Yeah.
So that's what, and there are 3 stages in here: part 1, part 2, and part 3.
Okay.
So when I came here, I did my part 1 in India, so they will consider that as a part 1. And I did my part 2 in University of East London for 2 years. So that is also equivalent to masters, M.Arch here, that's what they call. And then I have to get an experience of 24 months and make, when we do I mean हम लोग ने भी internship किया है इंडिया में, तो
Mhm.
उधर भी ऐसे log book और ऐसे सब लिखना होता है कि what did you do every day, like what was your goal for today, and you have to get assigned from COA register architect and who has some 10 years or 15 years experience in the firm. And so that's the same thing applies here. But after
Okay.
that you have to give exams as well. It's more, part 3 is mainly focused on professional, that how you can communicate, how you can collaborate, how you can get the clients, how you can how you can give your presentation and everything. So that's the bifurcation of three curriculums
Huh.
here.
Correct. And this REBA part 1, part 2, part 3 is similar to ARB, right? I mean, I
Yeah,
was also doing some research. Yeah.
so these are like, there are some university who doesn't have a REBA and ARB certified universities.
So you have to check that
You
before
have to
you
check that
get
as
admission.
well before you get into the
Hmm.
university. So mine was that one as well. So mine was that only. So that's why I chose that, University of East London. And there
Okay.
are some other university like University of Westminster, University of London Metropolitan, and all those university. They do offer these kind of courses, but they are just 1 year course, and that those are REBA accredited, but those are not equivalent to part 2. You cannot practice as a part 2
Hmm.
architectural assistant.
Okay. So what happens in case someone wants to go for a 1-year master's in an unrecognized course? So what happens after that?
I mean, I'll be very honest, I cannot say that you will get a job. Like it will take time to get into the field, but if you have a strong portfolio and you have strong connection and you have a very good luck, then only you will get into the
Okay. So if someone
field.
is planning to stay there, it's important
Yeah,
to
it's
get admission
important.
in a accredited university.
Yes. It's
Okay.
very important to research all these things. And also the main thing is you have to be very clear from the beginning that what subject you want to do.
Okay.
Because in here, for example, if I mention in my journey, like there were three subjects and 3 units in one M.Arch course.
Okay.
So one was related to urban design and residential design and public related, like design for people, mainly focused on urban and everything. The second was parametric. If you are parametric design, if you are really good at software, for example, Rhino and other software which does the Zahadid kind of structures, so you can get into that unit and explore those for that unit you have to have really good software knowledge.
Okay. So,
And the
okay.
third unit was sustainable strategies or something, like if you want to get into sustainability and sustainable consultant, maybe Manika will guide you through all like this subject, but yeah, this is what I
Because,
know.
yeah.
So sustainable strategy. So these are the three subjects there, and I knew that before applying, and I wanted to do urban design, related to people and people for design. So that's why I chose the university that this as well. Like there are so many reasons that I have considered this university. So you have to have very clear, because what happens is people just take the admission, oh, I'm going to London, but it's not how it works. When you actually get into university and you feel like, no, this is not subject I wanted to study, so it's better
Okay.
to research before getting into any university. So yeah,
Right.
that's how it
So
was
how
here.
did you, so you had two options. You had Australia and then you had UK. Australia
Yeah.
you rejected because you couldn't find a accredited university which worked for
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
Right. And in UK, how did you shorten down your search to London only, London specific?
So London specifically was like more exposure to market, and I wanted to attend architectural events and make more
Okay.
connections, because there are so many events that happens related to architecture in London. Because Manchester, there are two, three more cities
Yeah,
that
there
they
is
have.
Bath also.
Bath also, but these cities are very small. Like if you considering the budget and everything, then you can go for like Manchester, because it will shorten down your budget like 50 to 40%.
Hmm.
That's compared
Oh,
to London, because
and
it,
that is all living costs, I am assuming. I
yeah,
mean,
living
university
like,
tuition fee would be
it
similar
won't
everywhere.
it won't
No.
it won't affect your university
Hmm.
fees. It will be the same as London, but the living cost and other costs will reduce in those
Hmm.
cities compared to London.
That's
So
interesting to
yeah,
know.
yeah.
Okay.
So I forgot what was the question before.
Yeah, I was asking you, how did you choose upon London other than different other cities? So you also mentioned that you wanted to attend a lot of events in London, right? And that was a
Yeah,
major. So how
yeah.
do these events and industry connections help you when you're looking for jobs after M.Arch?
S- I mean, I have started very later on, like connecting with architectural professionals, because I was not aware. And I mean, I believe I was the first one from, I mean, from my university that who did masters. Other did masters, but they did like project management course, but I haven't heard of
Okay.
that they did masters of architecture in London. So I was not aware of all those, like what to do before you go or what
Hmm.
to do when you are studying. So I have that given in my giveaway as well, that what you can do before starting your university journey. So yeah, how they can help is, you will know that what is current demand in architectural field in London, and
Okay.
you will start connect. I mean, you will just I mean, it's very basic. Just go and talk to people. You will get at least 5% or 10% of knowledge, like what we can do further. So I started very later, like connecting with people and everything. And my first event was like all the people were like about 10 plus experiences, and I
Hmm.
was just standing there and looking at the people and the way they were talking. So that inspired me a lot, like, okay, let me connect with them. They might help me to get into the architectural field, and I end up sending more than 10 CVs to 10 people. So that's how we and here people are very helpful in architecture field. Like if
Okay.
you
So
go
word
to
of mouth
some,
really works.
yeah, word of mouth. And because if you don't go into event, and if you're just connecting on LinkedIn, sending them messages, they will reply. Okay, you have sent 100 messages, they will reply to your 2 or 3 messages. But once you get to know them in personal, then only you can get an idea that how well, I mean, how willing
Hmm.
they are to work in the architecture field. So that's how I realized that, like, offline events are also important rather than the
Yeah.
sending messages in LinkedIn.
That's again very interesting to know.
Yeah. So
We
that's
have
how it
Manika
helped me.
also here. Hey, Manika, welcome.
Hi, Soumya. I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's okay.
I'm
No
late.
worries. I
Okay.
hope everything is okay at your place.
Oh yeah, it's all okay. It's just that I got mixed up with some events, but that's okay.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right. So we just started out, and I was asking Bhakti about her journey in
Mhm.
UK. So I would like to know yours because you haven't done masters from the UK, and it's very interesting to see someone, still working on site. So that's why. So if you can just,
Yeah.
give us a quick introduction.
Okay. So yeah, it has been a bit unconventional. Generally, people make a move to UK, they do masters, and then they find a job, and that is what you would see in most of the cases. Mine was a bit similar. So after I graduated from architecture school, which I did in India, from School of Planning and Architecture, Bhopal, my first professional experience was the 6-month internship that we do, all of us, which was in Jaipur. After that, after my graduation, I worked for about 1.5 years with an architecture firm. It's called Dynacolog Architects. The firm has 2 offices. One is in India and another is in New York.
Okay.
So there was my first experience of working with international firm, working with people from all around the world, and which kind of made me explore more. And I decided that, I want to make a move to abroad. UK was one of the countries that I shortlisted. And it started with applying for masters. And I kind of
Okay.
had an idea. Yeah, it started that way. It wasn't like a direct jump to a job. I planned to do my masters here in UK. I applied in countries within, I applied for courses within Europe, UK, and some other places as well. I got into 2 of the courses, which was one was in UCL and another was in AA, Architecture Association. But at that time, I did not get any scholarship. So I was trying to work out different ways, find out scholarships, different ways of being here, and then do research on how it really looks like when you do masters, what exactly people are doing. I looked at LinkedIn, that people who have done this course, what has been their career paths. And I found that many of the people who studied in AA, they had a different career path, and the people who went to UCL, they had a different career path. So another thing, the course that I was opting for was sustainability. I wanted to do something within sustainability, and I wanted to do environmental designing more in detail. So yeah, I had these 2 courses. So what I did, that I started applying for part-time jobs, and I told them that, okay, I have these 2 courses in hand, and I am open to your suggestions that which course should I choose, which one would help me in my professional career more. So I found a few firms, and all of them inclined more towards the UCL course because it was an MSc course. It had
Okay.
more of engineering side to it, which is generally is more preferred when you do sustainability. So this is the thing. If you go to architecture firms, they might prefer M.Arch in sustainability, but if you go towards consultancy, they might prefer MSc. And I was inclining more towards consultancy. So they helped me out. They told me that, this course is going to help you. I had one firm in hand who had interviewed me, and they wanted to give me part-time alongside my M.Arch course. So all of that was going fine. I started my application for visa. And it was then that I found that there's another visa called Youth Mobility Visa. I don't know how many of you are aware of it. So it's just basically you need to send in an application. There isn't much criteria for it. If you get that visa, you get to stay within UK for 2 years, and you can study, you can live, or you can work. Like, it's completely on you what you want to do. And I was fortunate to get that visa. So then I went back to my company and told them that, I have this visa. Now I'm kind of rethinking if I should go for masters right away or maybe later on. Anyways, I told them, and they said, okay, what we can do is we can give you a full-time for now. See how, if you are getting well with sustainability. So yeah, this was also a thing because I was shifting my career a little bit. I was going away from core architecture to sustainability. I had some doubts whether I should do this or not. So I discussed it with them. I was very fortunate that my company helped me out, and they said, okay, come aboard and we will see from where we go. So it's been 2 years that I have been with my company. It's a consultancy firm. It's not an architecture firm. It's not regularly what we all see. We work with architects rather than working on designs or, the core thing.
Okay.
So yeah, in a nutshell,
So,
this is my journey.
all right. So this is a sustainability consultancy firm, if I'm not wrong.
Yes, yes.
Okay. Okay. Understood. That's great. Another interesting journey to look at. And I think if people, by the way, Manika, is this a conventional journey? I mean, do you see other people also coming to like work with this
Um,
journey?
so I, I have some friends who have been directly started working with uh, firms in UK. How it generally works is there are different ways for different people. There are
Hmm.
some people who started as remote working with a company, and if they feel that they're doing good work, and even the company likes them, and they see that okay, if this person joins us in the office, there'll be benefits. So they generally just bring them,
Hmm.
and otherwise, if you have a visa, then things become slightly easier because there are companies who want to hire you, but one of the biggest hurdle is that how you get a permit to work here.
Hmm. Right. On
So
what
in the
basis do you
beginning,
get
that
that
is
permit?
exactly. And in the beginning,
Hmm.
you are not experienced enough for a company to put that kind of investment in you.
Right.
That's the thing. If you have like, within India, you have worked for about 5-6 years, and you have very good experience in something, and you have a skill that maybe they require, which isn't there easily available in UK, then they would definitely hire you from India.
Hmm.
Uh,
Okay.
that is also another way.
Okay. So let's talk about visas only since we are on the topic. Um, so what was your experience securing a sponsored work visa? So you told us about the mobility work visa that you secured um on your own end, right? So
Yes.
how does things generally happen? And I think there is a question also, can one get a sponsored visa after this?
So I got a sponsored visa after this. And it happened because I worked with them for 2 years and they saw that, okay, I am adding some value, I'm bringing some value to the company. The
So
process
how
of it
long
was
would this visa would be? The sponsored work visa?
um, so in UK, if you get sponsorship, a sponsored visa, you need it for 5 years because after that you can get indefinite leave to remain. And you do not need any visa after that. You can just go and simply work wherever you want to.
Okay.
Um, so yeah, you need skilled workers visa for about 5 years. Uh, you can get it for a shorter period as well. Like if a company is doing it, they sometimes do it for 2 years or 3 years rather than doing it for 5 years because it's expensive if you do it for all together. And 5 years is a very, very long commitment. You don't know if you're gonna
Yeah.
be with that company and how things will work out. So that's one thing.
Okay. Understood. Okay. So Bhakti, can you tell me how long is the post-study work permit duration for M.Arch students?
Yeah, so as I mentioned earlier, MR course is 2 years. So
Hmm.
after that, you will get a window of applying to various job applications and also during that 2 years,
Hmm.
there are firms who offers summer internships.
Okay.
So between one first year and second year, so you will get a window of like 3 months, probably 2-3 months. I believe like we finished in May and then we start again from September. So during that
So
window,
there is no work permit visa at all. I mean, in US and Canada, they have 12 months and 24 months by default as a work permit.
no. After that, after university, you have to separately apply for graduate visa. So in that you will get your work. I mean, like you will get a chance to find a job and still you can work as a part-timer or somewhere you have apart from the architecture job, still you can work. But during that time, you can apply for your architecture job in those
Okay.
24 months. Because why they have kept that way is if somebody is not doing great in the university, they will reject their graduate visa as well. If they are not going to university as required, like 50% in like attendance, they are not attending university like very well, and their performance is not well in university, they are allowed to reject their graduate visa as well.
Oh, so you have to directly apply for the job even when you are in the college, you have not graduated yet. So there is no time window after that.
No.
If your student visa expires, it just expired, and if you don't
Yeah,
have a
if your
work visa.
student visa expired, before it's expiring, you can apply for graduate visa. Like after graduation, they will give
Hmm.
you some letter from university that okay, this student has completed the course successfully. Now he or she is eligible for the graduate visa. After that, you can apply for graduate visa to find a job in UK. And after
Okay.
that,
And
once you
yeah.
find a job, there are some firms who doesn't have a sponsorship license, and there are some firms they have sponsorship license. So you have to also consider that
Hmm.
as well, that
Right.
if you are looking for a long term work, and if you are looking for a sponsor visa, PSW visa,
Hmm.
then only you can ask them that okay, my visa is going to expire in 1 year or 2 years. I will need a visa in future. Will you be able to sponsor me? And there are some ways as well. Like if they are not ready to pay the full amount of your sponsorship, you can do half and half. Like
Okay.
50% they pay, 50% you can pay. Like this is how you can work it out internally. If they are willing to sponsor you, and if you're adding really good value in the company. That's how
Hmm.
one of my friend did. Like he was really good at softwares and everything, so that's how they have sponsored him. Like 50% they paid and 50% they paid. He paid.
Okay.
So that's how it works as well. But the main thing is one like main thing is you have to get into the architecture field in UK. That's the
Hmm.
important thing.
Right.
Yeah, and also
And
there is a
hmm.
term called probation period. If they are not sure, they cannot
Hmm.
offer you the sponsorship. So
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
they have to check you like
Hmm.
whether he or she will fit in the form or not, because
And
it's a
how long
very
is the
long process.
probation period? 3 months.
3 months, 6 months, it depends on the form.
Hmm. And how difficult or easy is it to secure a job in that particular time frame? I think Manika, you can also suggest your ideas here.
Mm, so I can't tell you about the after the graduation scene, but um, from what I've seen from my friends' experience who graduated, it took them about 3 to 4 months. There were some who did internships and they got rehired at the same place. So that happens, as quick as possible. But yeah, about 3 to 4 months is a standard period. And
Okay. And
yeah,
it's a standard period, yeah. And
yeah.
how much someone can stretch if they can't find a job in, let's say, 4 months? What is the maximum time period that they can stay there to find work?
I think Bhakti, you would know that better
Yeah,
on
it's
graduate visa.
yeah, it's a 2 years. You have minimum 2 years to find a job and sponsorship and everything. So you have that too. But what I would suggest is during this study, you start connecting with people, and as I mentioned earlier, there is some window there where they offers summer internship as well.
Hmm.
So you
Yeah.
can apply for that as well. And after that, once you finish your graduation, you
Hmm.
can consider them like saying that, okay, I have finished my graduation. Now I would really like to continue with your firm if you are willing to offer me a work or something like that.
So,
Yeah. So
Bhakti, this part-time work and internships, right? When you are still studying as a student,
yeah.
what is the time working week looks like for them? I think many countries allow only 10 hours a week for a part-time job on university in outside university campus, if I'm not wrong. So how do the rules vary in UK?
So in UK, it's 20 hours part time. You can work up to 20 hours, and
Is it in university or outside university campus?
can be university or can be outside of university. Depends where you get a job.
Okay.
So it's not only like you will get a architecture job. It can be any job. Like if you really want to work as a part-timers. But what my week looked like was like, it was just 20 hours. Sorry for the background voice. If
I think it's manageable.
yeah, okay. So it was 20 hours. So I I used to do 2 days only, just for 18 hours, and then 3 days universities, and 2 days I used to spend for my studio, like design and research and everything. So I have to balance my work and
Yeah.
the university as well, because here it's mainly on research based. So you have to read a lot, and you have to be active on Arc Daily and everything, like what is new and what we can do in sustainability and like urban design, people for design. So it's all mainly research based and conceptual thinking, because they mainly believe in narrative, that how you end up with this design, what is your journey, because people love to hear journeys, like
Stories. Yeah.
yeah, people love to hear narrative stories and everything. They just don't want to see the end product. So they
Yeah.
always love the progress. So we have to progress. We have to tell them our daily progress, like daily, like weekly progress, like what you have done in the design. So yeah. And here
Right.
tutors are very supportive. Even if you are outside of country, they are very supportive. If you have really good portfolio, you have to have extraordinary portfolio.
And if not, if someone doesn't have an extraordinary portfolio, then what?
Extraordinary portfolio, like, I mean, you will get less attention, because like I have seen in my university, like if you don't have a good portfolio, they won't give you much time. Like they won't spend much time in your design. uh, so that's
So
why.
it's different from India. Yeah, in
Yeah,
India, faculties believe in, uplifting everyone, even the
yeah.
weakest of the class student. But
Yeah,
that's
they will
interesting.
help you. Definitely, they will help you, but it will take time unless you show your design that
Yeah. Yeah.
my portfolio isn't that good, but still I can
Mm.
work on my design.
Right.
And
You have to prove yourself.
you have to prove yourself, either way, either portfolio or with the design and everything. So yeah,
I think that's actually something which is dramatically different from Indian education system and any system abroad. Yeah.
yeah.
All right. Now, quickly, let's touch upon the budget and scholarships for a bit. So, Bhakti, what is the realistic budget for a student to study for 2 years in the UK? How much should one plan for?
So I did my 2 years master. So I paid altogether 35K. Apart, it's just a
35,
fees. Yeah, it's
yeah,
just a fees.
$35,000
35K.
pounds. Yeah.
And then the monthly expensive, like rent, groceries, tax, and rent, groceries, tax. What else? Like other entertainment things. Like it mainly when I right now it's very expensive. Like right now you have to have £1,200 a month to survive in the London.
Okay.
Yeah, because
All
it's expensive now. But when I came here, it was like 750 was enough to survive in London. So right now it's that big gap have came up. So yeah, £1,200 a month is minimum to.
okay. So approximately 40 lakhs in tuition fee and about around 14 to 15 lakhs per year in living costs.
Yeah. And after
Okay.
in 40 to 50, like, I would say, like, we have we do used to spend on printouts and models and everything.
Oh, that's extra.
No, in India we used to spend, but here
Hmm.
we don't have. Sorry, here we don't have to, because
Okay.
it's all on screens, on digital screens. Because I
Okay.
don't remember when like A4 prints and A3 prints are very like free in libraries, but I don't remember if I have done like A2 prints and A1 prints like we used to do in India for the juries and everything. It's all happens in the screen. So there
Right.
is no hidden codes for printouts and models and all these things. You will they even they can't they won't afford you to like provide a A1 and A4 A2 printers in university. So they just avoid those things. They will just go for like on screen like digital presentations.
Okay. And how available are scholarships for students? Because the costs seem to be really high. It's coming out to be approximately 70 lakhs for 2 years.
Yeah, so when I came here, I got 5,000 K scholarship, and after that
Okay.
there was no scholarship option. So I just got 5,000 when I initially came here because my
Okay.
LTS score was good. It was 7. So and also my bachelor transcript was also good. Like my score was really good. So they were like, okay, we should give you a
Hmm.
scholarship. So that's why they have
So,
got.
so are scholarships not very much available in the UK? Because Manika, you also mentioned that at the time when you were searching for universities, you also couldn't secure a scholarship. In US, on the other hand, I have found that there are many, many scholarships available. Even all the tuition fee is just gone by scholarships. So,
So within my case, there were two things that were happening. As I said, that I was trying to secure a sustainability course. I had two courses. One was M.Arch, another was MSc. Now, with scholarships, what I have seen is that there are a lot of scholarships within architecture segment, and then there are scholarships within the engineering segment. And then there are scholarships that you get from your colleges as well. So I the when I applied for AA, I wasn't able to secure a scholarship. They provide a scholarship within the university, and then I later on contacted some people who were able to secure it. They said that you need to send in your application as soon as possible, like when the course starts. If with scholarships, you have to be very well planned.
yeah.
And to be honest, at that time, I was just getting started and it was my first attempt to apply for things. And I worked on my portfolio for as long as I could and then made my application. But it I realized it later that, you just need to do it the minute course starts, the minute the applications open up.
Okay. You
For
have to be really
UCL,
prompt.
you have to be really prompt. For UCL, the year that I applied, there weren't that many scholarships, but the year right after it, they have actually opened up a lot of scholarships just for Indians. So I would say that now it's a very good time in that area to apply for scholarship and secure one. Another thing with me was that I was planning for things, but I had my head at too many places. I was applying in Europe as well. I was targeting Germany as one of my main countries because I like the architecture over there. I like some of the firms over there, and I invested too much energy on that side. So if anybody else is applying, I would say just target one country at a time. Then you will be able to, understand their landscape of what courses are there, what scholarships are there, and what firms are there.
Okay. And how
Yeah.
do they select on like one country? I mean, what was your reason to go to London? I mean, after you were thinking about Germany.
Yeah. So I would say so what happens is when you're applying for masters, I would say 1 year would just go into preparation of it. Or maybe you can even take 1 year in doing research about it, that what suits you the most. I was even looking into US and Canada. I was looking for UK as well, and I was looking for Europe as well. I was able to say no to US and UK was US and Canada because I felt that it's too far for me. And I wanted to be at least, within 10 hours of distance from my family. So I was like, okay, that I can do. Then within Europe and UK, Europe seemed more favorable because the courses are within sustainability segment. Europe is doing really well. And there were very new courses that were coming up. But the biggest barrier is language. So that was one thing that was, making me rethink the whole thing. And for some of the courses that you apply over there, you need to show that you know at least A1 to A2 level of that language, and which further is required for scholarships. So that was like another thing which came to me later on, that I don't think I can invest my time into learning a new language right now, because there's so many other things within my course that I can learn at this point. So I came to UK eventually, but I had lost the time of applying to scholarships in that whole decision period. So I would say that if you're thinking about masters, take your time. You don't need to rush any decision. Take about 1 year in just deciding what country suits you, what course you want to go in, and then maybe send in 1 or 2 applications in the beginning and see where you stand, and make very solid applications the next year. This is my suggestion. Just to make it very strong and know that you are going in the right direction, and you will then be very well informed when you land into the other country.
Okay, understood. Now, we already are at 4:50 p.m., so I'll just pick attendee questions, which many people just gave us when they were registering for the session. So first is Vedika Kumar. She is here on the call. Yes. So how do we bridge the gap between Indian and UK bachelor's education to secure a job in the UK? I think, Manika, you would be better to answer this question.
To bridge the gap, I would say that you can't really do it while you are in India. You can try to look up things. You can see what works different firms are doing. At least be informed of some of the landmark projects that are coming in here, and see who were the firms who were involved in here. That is the most you can do when you are sitting in India. It's only when you come here, and that's when you understand, okay, this is the planning, this is how the whole system works. This is like, if there's a big project, there's so many consultants involved in it. But to be honest, even it took me about the first 6 months just to understand, okay, this is how things work here. Other than that, this is one thing that I'm a little disappointed about. So earlier in India, there were some universities who were affiliated with RIVA. And here, most of the courses, all the architecture courses, they are affiliated with RIVA. But lately, none of the Indian universities are now. So it's very hard to do while you are there. All I can say is that from your side, you can look up, and yeah, that's it.
Okay, all right. Vedika, I hope you got your answer. We have 3 more questions for you. I'll pick them up quickly. With the current immigration laws changing globally, is it a good idea to invest in a master's program in the UK? If yes, what is the expected ROI? Bhakti, I think you can answer this.
Yeah, I mean, like, yes, it is very uncertain, but it still depends on your clarity, network, and how early you engage with the opportunities. If you engage with opportunities on early stages, like the second year of your masters, then you have extra time. Like, you spend your second year by shortlisting where you want to work, start applying, and what is your core, like what is your design purpose, like what is your design strategy to work in the to your work in the UK firm. For example, if you want to work in the urban design firm and you're applying in residential or any other any sustainability or residential forms. There is no point, like this is just a waste of time. Like you should not, like you have to have a clarity that where you want to work, then list down all the forms that where you want to work, and then you can start applying and utilize your second year as your gap, like window, and then you can start working for 2 years. So that's how you can manage your framework as well. But that, and even if visa and immigration laws changes, still like they won't affect the people who have come before.
Okay.
It's just for the people who are coming after that law has been done.
Hmm.
So for example, I have come here in like 2021, no, 2023. 2021, yeah. So whatever happens after that, like for the visa and immigration, that
Your,
won't affect
yeah,
my visa
visa.
status, or it won't affect
Hmm.
anything on my status. So it
Okay.
goes after, like who have come after the laws has
Hmm.
implemented in the immigrations. So
Right. So
yeah,
it's
that's
still a
the
good
one.
idea to invest in a
Yeah.
master's program.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so what my idea was, like, see, studying is always been asymmetric returns. You cannot expect, like, if I have invested 10K, I will get the 10K at the end. No, it will take time, whatever you have invested, to give you back. So you don't know where it's gonna start, but yeah, still it will take time. So it's always not like give and take policy in studies. That's what I think. Maybe I could be wrong, but that's what I think. Yeah.
And what is, you mentioned you can't expect that. Can you guys tell me what is the starting salary range for an architect in the UK? I mean, let's talk about London since you both are in London.
So for starting, it's like 16 pound per hour. Like they pay, for me it's hourly pay. Still they consider the package, but still it's hourly pay. So it's 16 pound per an hour for
Okay.
me, but it should be more than that because the
So,
amount of work we deliver and everything. So it should be more than that.
and
But yeah,
how
this is the
long, how much
minimum.
is your work week? How many work
Like
hours a week?
it's 8 hours. Eight
A
hours.
day.
Yeah, 8 hours a
And
day. Like it's like
okay.
40 to 45 hours a week.
Hmm.
It depends.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Manika, how has your experience been? Can you tell us starting salary ranges?
So for consultancy, it's slightly different. For architecture, they generally pick up the salary thresholds from REBA. REBA provides that, okay, if somebody is this experienced, this is what they should be paid. You can go on their website and check it. However, even if the standards are set by them, companies can defer to pay. For example, if it's a very high-end company, for certain partner, it's said that they pay much higher, which is completely fair. So it can depend on company. For consultancies, it generally starts from 30K annually for a
Okay.
graduate, and it can go higher.
Okay. All right. So, what Bhakti mentioned is also coming out to be about 25K. So, I think that seems to be the average range
Yeah.
of salaries.
Yeah. It's a starting after
Hmm.
graduation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So we got an idea for that as well. So maybe Vedika, this answers your question. If this is the expected ROI you can get in the UK. Okay. I will now pick more questions from Nupur. After, like, towards the end, I'll pick more questions from Vedika. Nupur says, "Hey, I am currently a student of University of Nottingham doing masters in sustainable urban design with a bachelor's in India, in architecture from India. What kind of roles or sectors in the UK have the highest demand for graduates in sustainable urban design or related principles?" Manika, I think you should answer this because you also have a background in sustainable architecture.
Okay, so if it's sustainability within urban design, then I would say first thing should be target urban design firms and landscape firms, because within UK, the planning standards I would say are very stringent. If anything is being planned, there are all sorts of reports that are created, and especially within the segment of sustainability, you do circular economy, you do overheating, you do wind analysis, everything. So first thing should be that you target landscape and urban design firm and try to be in their sustainability department. Second thing you can do is that you can target just the consultancy firms. For example, you can target WSP, Arab, that work with architects. They necessarily do not have architecture departments, but they have sustainability departments. They would have urban design department that is just working on the sustainability side of it. They're not designing anything. So you can target those kinds of company. You can even look up some core architecture firms who are maybe trying to, expand their urban design department. So that could be a third area of application.
I think that answers Dipangshi's question also. She has mentioned, as a sustainability consultant, in what all sectors of architecture can one work? And I think you have already answered that, Manika. Okay,
Yes.
I'll pick up one more question from Nupur. Do employers actively sponsor skilled work visas in built environment fields like planning, urban design, or sustainability? The question is actively.
No, not actively. It takes a lot of convincing. The reason is that it used to happen very easily from about 2 to 3 years before now, because immigration laws were a bit relaxed. But lately, the government has made them extremely, extremely stringent. And it has impacted almost everyone, people who were here on graduate visas, people who themselves were on sponsorship. And there have been many, many laws coming in that there's a part of it where you can't even bring your dependents anymore. So, no, they are not actively doing it. It only happens in a case when they cannot find a person of similar skills within the UK. When somebody applies for sponsorship, the sponsor, the employer, has to give it in writing to the government that, we cannot find somebody of similar skill within UK and we have to hire from outside. So it's not just about the money, it's also about the time of the employer that they have to invest into it. So it takes a lot of effort.
I hope, Nupur, you got your answers. I'll move to Arunav's question and then come back to other questions from Nupur and Vidika. Considering the work-life balance difference between India and the UK, would you be able to share your experience of the process for working in firms in the UK? So basically, work-life balance, how is it in UK?
It has been extremely good, I would say. It's very, very well balanced. You definitely have your weekends. And for me, the working hour is somewhere around 37 to 38 hours per week. I think it's pretty good. There are days when, you have some missions, so you have to put in some extra hours, which is understandable. This is how the industry is. But there are days when you have less work, so you can leave early. So, for example, in my office, we generally, a day is like you have to be in office at around 9 o'clock and you have to work till 6. Sorry. But if your work is done, you can leave at around 4. After 4, nobody would question you. You can leave. So it's quite balanced. I can work from home whenever I require. It's hybrid working, and nobody is, after you for how much hours you have invested in. It's all about whether you have completed the task that you had on your plate. That's it.
That's it. And that also transfers to ownership, right? Because we were discussing this before the session, that UK firms are very much transparent when it comes to business side of things. So I think this is one of the major difference with what we see in India and in countries abroad. Okay. I'll pick up another question from Divya. What are the benefits of getting ARB accreditation? Do you recommend getting a part 3?
I think Bhakti could take this well.
Bhakti could, yeah.
If like it's very subjective, I think. Like if you want a title of architect and you want to start your own firm and you want to start practicing as your own, like you basically, if you want to start your own studio, you have to have architect like ARB register architect. Then only you can start your own studio and start practicing alone. Otherwise, most of the people, I mean, I have seen many people who haven't done their part 3 because they are getting much more experience and they are getting much more work and without doing it. So it's optional. If you want to do it like for the sake of getting the architect title, then you can get it. I will give
But
you a
it's
very
not
quick
required.
It's not required. If you have like, of course, you know Zahadid, you guys. So she has not done her part 3. She was she was doing and designing without the part 3. So it's optional. If you want to have if you want to call yourself like ARB registered architect, then only you have to do it. Otherwise, there is no compulsion here.
It's similar in India also, right?
You will get,
I mean, if you have to,
of course, you will get a more importance on that, but still, it's optional.
Yeah. In India, you can anyway apply for a COA registration certificate after you graduate, and there is no process to it. But in India also, it's not compulsory for everyone who is working under an employer to get the title of an architect. Aruna is asking, is there a financial upside to the part 3?
If you're working, like you have to have a 24 months experience and you have to have like this big logbook, like what you have done during your 24 hours. And also the main thing is if you are practicing your 24 months, like if you are looking forward to do your part 3, you have to have work in the firm where the architect is ARB registered. For example, I have a firm and you are working in my firm, but then I have to have ARB registered architect. You cannot work under the person who are not ARB registered, who doesn't have a title of a architect. Otherwise, they won't consider your experience as experience.
Okay, but is there a financial upside to it? I mean, do you get paid more? If you have
yes, you get, of course, definitely you get paid more. Definitely. You get paid more.
Okay, all right. Okay, another question from Yashaswini. Is the UK job market saturated and is it hard to find jobs there?
See, everywhere it's hard to find a job. Even if we say in India, it's hard to find a job unless you work for it. So
That's a good answer.
Like I got this job, the place I'm working right now, Planning Architecture Limited. I got it after 6 to 7 months because I did not give up. So it is quite difficult, but it's not impossible.
Okay, it's difficult, but it's not impossible if you work for it. Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay. Another question. I'm coming back to Vedika's question now. What is the scope of architectural professionals in the UK with a bachelor's, and how does it differ with the master's degree? Good question. Manika, would you like to take this up?
Sorry, Samya, can you repeat the question once?
Yeah. What is the scope of architectural professionals in the UK with a bachelor's, and how does it differ with a master's degree? So,
okay. Yes. So within architecture, I think it all depends on your skills, because when you enter the professional market, when you are working for someone, what is your standout point there? Are you good with softwares? Do you know something that nobody else knows in your company? Can you add a new service within your company, things like that. So if you have done courses, if you have done something extra to your bachelor's that makes you stand out, then you're very well, then you can fit in the market very well. But you can do masters, you can go do PhD, you can have part 3, you can have everything. But if you don't know how to apply your knowledge within the professional area, then you're just as good as an intern, or not even not like that, but just you are entering in the market. It's your experience, your skills, that all matters.
Yeah, it's just that you have to know how to make your space in the industry. Like that is more important than how you can apply your knowledge to the industry. It can be
All
anything
right.
like conceptual thinking, sketching. It can be anything, but you have to just prove yourself. Like I can do it. I can add value in the professional industry.
Okay. And another question is, if you decide to not do a master's and take the job route, do you still need to be a licensed architect in the UK? And if yes, how does the licensure procedure work? I think the licensure procedure we have mentioned in the resource, so we don't need to cover that. But do you still need to be a licensed architect in the UK, Manika?
So when you are working within architecture firms, what happens is it's all about the title. If you do not have, if you haven't studied here, or if you do not have ARP accreditation with you, then they cannot call you part 1 architect, part 2 architect, or part 3 architect. They will call you technical architect.
Okay.
And that's what will happen with your sponsorship as well. Because every job in UK has a code to it, and you will see it on your tax papers when you apply for anything. Anything, you will have it with you all the time, and that will also decide what salary you have. So it kind of says that if you have part 3, definitely you will have a higher salary. That's what even Reva suggests. And part 3 is not something you can easily gain. It's like you have done bachelor's, then master's, then part 3 is about professional work. You have worked for about 2-3 years, and you prove it to a institute that whatever I did in my professional career, it is of a certain standard. So then only you get it, and then you can actually call yourself an architect.
So basically, if someone does not, they just want to live in the UK and they just want to work there, and they are not concerned about what title are they getting, then it's not required.
Definitely. Yeah.
Okay.
In a
I
team within architecture firms, they have who are architects who work more onto the projects where they kind of need to sign off. They have to be like, okay, I attested that this is a perfect project, and I have it has perfect drawings and everything. But then there are people who work on it who are more good at maybe Revit or something like that. So they will be working in different teams, and they will have a different designation. That's it.
Understood. Okay. Vedika, I hope that clears your doubt. Feel free to drop any more questions in the chat box. Meanwhile, I'll take more questions from Nupur. So how important are charterships like REBA for employability in the UK planning design sector? Now she's talking about REBA, not ARP. Bhakti, do you want to take this question?
Yeah, sorry, can you repeat like 1 second?
Yeah, so she's asking how important are charterships like REBA for employability in the UK design sector?
Okay, so REBA is just a body. It's not like you have to have accreditation from REBA. REBA is just a register of architects. ARB is the main body where you have to get registered. REBA is just a part of ARB.
Like IIA.
Yeah, REBA, yeah, exactly. CO is the main body where we registered in India, like to become an architect, register architect. Here it's ARB, and REBA is just a part of ARB, which sets the guideline for the people. Like, for example, like Manika has mentioned earlier, that you will find your pay guidelines on REBA. That's all those guidelines and everything that should be done by REBA.
REBA. Okay. So it's not mandatory, and it doesn't help in employability, but it's a symbol, it's a status symbol.
Yeah, if
that
it,
you are RIBA registered.
yeah, like it's like there is the ARB that where the RIBA will come, because they are go well, they goes together. So
Okay.
even if you check the university, you will see the ARB and RIBA accredited mark part 2 architecture assistant. So it goes together, but don't confuse with like you have to have registered with RIBA. No, it's just a part of the ARB body. Even
Okay.
I got confused before,
That's
but yeah,
interesting.
it's
Yeah.
just a part of the ARB.
Okay. Okay. So they both go hand in hand.
Yeah, they both go hand.
Okay. All right.
Also, I would like to add on previous ones where we were talking about the technical part. Like there is a role
Hmm.
called architectural technician in UK,
Okay.
where they like, and there are some courses as well to, if you really want to set I mean, if you just want to work here and you are not really into much design, and you know the software, and you know that you want to work on the technical designs, like for example material, like junction designs and everything, like how the building will work. So that's what they call architectural technician.
Okay.
So if you really interested in that, there are some university they do as that as well.
Okay. All right. And next question. Are there particular cities or regions in the UK where there are more urban design planning jobs compared to others? Who wants to take this? Are there particular cities or regions in the UK where there are more urban design or planning jobs compared to others?
It's very hard to say that way.
Yeah.
But if you look at, if you just go on to companies' firms, you would see that the bigger ones would have their offices within London, Manchester, uh, maybe what are other areas, maybe in Bristol, or yeah, there's some metropolitan cities that you can find, and they will have their offices there. But generally, all the head offices are within London or Manchester. These are the two places that I'm aware of.
Okay.
Yeah, same.
And what happens is that there are projects all over UK. There can be urban design projects anywhere, but you would see that maybe the London office is working on it, maybe the Manchester office is working on it. So it's not like, I mean, statistically, I cannot really answer that, but this is what my experience is, that London and Manchester are the two cities.
Okay. And Bhakti, do you have anything to add on this? I mean, do you also think that's the
I
case?
mean, like here, most of the firm does urban related projects. So yeah, I cannot say that this
Okay.
is the particular firm that is doing the urban design projects, because it's a mixed. Maybe they can. I mean, most of the firm like will do mixed use project as well, residential project as well. Like it depends on their criterias and everything. But yeah, I mean, they cannot give you on the initial basis like directly urban design projects. So you have to do a more of research that which firm can go with your design criteria. Like, what are you particular in urban design? Because urban design is very vast term. You cannot like just, it's not just a one building. It's a combination of design and people. So yeah, I mean, there are so many forms, but you just have to go and research on it.
Okay. All right. We have one more question. How Divya asked this a while back. How is Architectural Association for M.Arch? I think Manika, you were mentioning this and UCL
Yeah.
before. Anyone can
Architecture
answer that.
Association. It is one of the best colleges out there in UK. Zaha Hadid studied from there. There are many big names that are associated with it, but more than university, what matters is the course that they are famous for. You would see that there's one particular course which is very hard to get into. That's one thing. My reason for not opting Architecture Association eventually and going with UCL was that I just felt that at least for sustainability, that UCL had various courses. They had more flexible programs, and there was a there were architects as well as people from different areas, different disciplines that were coming in. Whereas if you just go to architecture association, you will only find architects. So it really depends on you how you want to expose yourself. Do you still want to be within architecture and be in the core architecture segment where you are just surrounded by architects? Then architecture association is really good. They have very good courses, very good professors. Everything is perfect. They even have partnerships with different firms within London that you can easily get internships. There are things like that. So all in all, it's a good college. You can go if you really want that.
And Bhakti, what is your say on this?
I mean, I haven't researched on a association, but I have heard it's very good internship, a very good university, and I have been there for one exhibition for the the end of years exhibition. So it was really good. The students work away. It's very good. Like yeah.
Okay. Okay. I hope you got your answer, Divya. I have a few more questions, but it's already 5:15. So, attendees, if you are interested in staying and if you're liking this Q&A, please, you're most welcome to stay. We'll just take 10 more minutes. And before you leave, the team has pinned a few links here. So you can register for our upcoming event, which will be an extension, and we will discuss detail about the how to apply for universities, what kind of documents are required. So you can register for that. And you can also register for the resource, which will be distributed after the event ends. And we will also attach the video recording in the mail itself. So just drop your email IDs on the link. All the links are there in the chat box. Okay, I have a few more questions, guys. Just it will be taking not more than 10 minutes. Okay, is it better to go to top Indian colleges than mid-high colleges in UK? And if yes, then what are the requirements for applying to the UK colleges? I think this is a very interesting question. I mean, would you want to go to the best university in India or a medium university in the UK? How does one decide that?
I think first thing is that when you choose between India and abroad, the first thing is that what you want. You want to keep on working within India, then I would say go for that top tier college that you have found. But if you want to explore more, if you maybe work abroad, one thing, then you can try. I mean, it's very hard to compare that top tier college in India and then a mediocre college in UK. It's hard to compare. It depends on what you want. If you want to go up, then maybe choose that, or maybe wait another area, try for it again, and go for it. In my opinion, all my answers would say that make an informed decision. Don't rush your masters.
Exactly. Like get clarity. Like spend your time with yourself. Like what you want to actually do. Like subject wise as well, and what you are really good at. Because I mean, nobody wants to feel that okay, this is not what I wanted. So it's better to take a time and get a clarity on that, like which subject you want to do and which city you want to study in. So that's what my opinion is.
Nice. Another interesting question. How will UK masters help me if I want to come back to India and start my practice?
I think that's a good question. So what happens is that when you're working in architecture, it's very good for you in general to learn about different contexts. Just go and see how a different country is working, what systems they have, how their planning system works, how in general the internal organization is there within a firm, and you can bring that knowledge back and apply it instead of just being in one spot, which definitely needs improvement. So their knowledge that you can transfer, and you can maybe have your own company which is built on different principles, new ethics,
Hmm.
and things like
Which
that.
is much more transparent than the companies in India. Yeah. But
Yeah.
then someone will have to study in the UK and then work at least for 2 years.
Yes.
That kind of exposure will help more rather than just coming back after
Studying.
the
Yeah.
masters.
Yeah. Right. I mean, what you can do is you can maximize your study time. You can do more internships. You can do part-time work. Yeah, and maybe you can even find a firm to do your thesis with instead of just opting one hypothetical thesis topic. Maybe you do it on a real scenario. You work out with a firm and do it that way. So maximize your master's period as well, which is something that I would say to people. Do part-time within similar areas.
Hmm.
Yeah, you will have better learning.
Okay. Another question is it possible to work in India and get projects relevant to urban planning after pursuing masters in urban planning in the UK? I'll repeat that. Is it possible to work in India and get projects relevant to urban planning after pursuing masters in urban planning degree in the UK? So
Mm,
basically, they are asking if they have pursued urban planning in the UK and they want to work in India, then is it like they can get urban planning projects or not, if I'm not wrong? Priyansh, are you here? I don't think so. Okay, we can answer if you guys get the question. If not,
I mean,
uh,
as far as I understood, the question is he wants to study in UK urban planning and then
I
come back
yeah,
to India
India
and
and
then
then
get
work on urban planning projects.
okay
from UK or from India? From UK, projects from UK.
from
I
India.
think it's not mentioned. I think let's skip this question
Yeah,
if it's not clear. Let
yeah.
it be. Okay, Aruna has asked another question. Do firms actively give internships during the master's duration? When is the best time to apply for those?
Yes, they do. You can apply during the summertime because that's what they mainly do, like summer internship. So you can apply during the summertime,
Okay. All
not
right.
during the study time because they will be like they won't hire anybody like if you are studying. If you are
Hmm.
on a break, they can hire you as an intern. Yeah, but still it depends on the firm because I have seen many people who have been working while studying as well as a part-timers
Hmm.
because if they are really good at work and they're willing to continue. So yeah, there are some firms that are really good, like they support you with everything. So yeah, it's
Hmm.
it's
So you have
very
to.
hard. Yeah, you have to be very active on that part.
Okay. All right. Okay, guys. So we had only these many questions. If someone wants to ask any question, they can unmute themselves and they can ask right away. Otherwise, we can drop off. It's already 25 minutes over the time that we had for the session. Okay. Meanwhile, I would thank you guys for joining um, the session. And okay, there is something. No, okay. I think there are no more questions. So thank you so much, guys. Thank you for joining us. It has been a wonderful session. And now I'll hand it over to Riti for the outro and other parts.
Oh,
Thank you, Dipangshi.
I mean, like I was listening it on backstage, and I got some work to do behind the scene, but I was not able to distract myself from what the conversation was actually going on. It was so pure, it was so organic, and it actually is making me, interested in what's next, how to do this and that. So yeah, I totally feel that participants might have questions that that are still unanswered, you guys can pin Manika and Bhakti over LinkedIn. They're also available on our group WhatsApp community as well. You can join that as well and ask them there as well. You can also pin them on LinkedIn and they will help you over there as well. And to all of you who spend your Sunday with us, thank you. You can pin the speakers anytime. You can pin our Insyd team as well. And I hope this money side of part is quite clear to you. So yeah, as promised, part 2 is coming on August 20, all about dreaming your land university in UK. So the registration link is already been dropped in the chat box. So yeah, all right, everyone, that is officially a wrap. Keep this amazing energy and all your great questions going in the community. Until next time, this side TC from Insyd. Thank you, everyone. Go enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you. Bye-bye,
Good.
guys.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you for joining.
Thank you.
Thank you.